Hey guys, my name is Sam Williams, and this is my librarian interview project video recap. um, so, the librarian that I chose for my project was Linh Nguyen. She is the sciences librarian at Perry Library at Old Dominion University. I thought that I would interview Linh Nguyen partially because academic librarianship is an area that I am not particularly familiar with. I've had personal experiences both with public librarians as I was a volunteer for Great Falls Library in Fairfax County for a year from 2024, like end of the year 2024 to end of the year 2025. Um, and I've worked in this Arlington public school system for the past 6 months, and I've worked with the school librarians plenty over my time there. So I wanted to branch out. Um, Additionally, I also wanted to learn about sciences librarianship. I don't have much personal experience with the sciences in an academic setting. I was an English major in undergrad, and so I wanted some experience with a subject area that I was not particularly familiar with. How does an academic sciences librarian interact with the student body? I don't know because I haven't interacted with one. Finally, she worked her way up. She has worked in the same library, Perry Library, for over 10 years, um, and went from a non librarian position to a librarian position. Um, this is an avenue that I personally am interested in, um, as I would like to work either for the public school system, potentially, or an academic library, or even a public library. I am still deciding between those three types of libraries. So I want to see how someone works their way up in a single setting. Um, so Linh Nguyen's career path is a really interesting one. She started out with a bachelor's degree in biology from Old Dominion University with a minor in chemistry. She worked as a caregiver and in public health for a little while. That was her personal interest. She has an interest in public health, partially because she's been interested in public health and the sciences since she was young, but also for personal reasons because she has personal family issues that drew her to public health initially. Her work as a caregiver also gave her an eye into the insurance system and how that system affects individuals. She worked with individuals to navigate said system and find the best care they could. After she worked in caregiving, she found a home in Perry Library and working for TCC, Tidewater Community College, which is attached to ODU. She worked for them as an hourly overnight circulation specialist, which she did for about 2 years, before moving on to a full time position as a reference and training specialist, where she would train students and staff on the basics of reference, how to use resources like Monarch One Search and Academic Search Complete, and help people find their guides, their library guides. She would also supervise student work. This position is what drew me to her because she worked it for so long. She won an award over the course of her time for the quality of her work, and this article is actually how I found her. Um, after a After those 10 years, during that time, she was getting her master's in library science. And after she got her master's, she applied for the sciences librarian position, and started that position in November of 2025. So, what I learned over the course of this video was that an academic librarian, such as herself, has a shifting workload. In the beginning of the year, Lynn said that she focuses a lot on instruction and ensuring that faculty has access to the books that they need through the library, also ensuring that the status of the books are good. She also handles purchase requests. So if they don't have books, she handles purchase requests from um, ODUs, professors, and others, school faculty. As the year goes on, she concentrates on projects, making library guides ADA compliant, and doing side projects like workshops for the next fiscal year. Now, since this is her first year on the job as the sciences librarian, much of what she said that she was doing over the course of this next semester or two is forming a bond with her community and understanding what her community needs, as well as understanding what faculty needs. She also needs to understand what students need and anyone else who uses ODU libraries. One reason for this is that the position was vacant for a good number of years before she entered, so she didn't necessarily have a mentor coming into this role and is currently discovering what the role is going to look like over the course of her stay. She also told me about recommended databases. I asked her some questions about what she directs students to, because I wanted to know what are the resources that biology students are using in order to complete their research. She said that, first go to the LibGuides, but if she's working with biology students like microbiology, she often puts them in the direction of Science Direct, World of Science, or PubMed. She also, when asked, she said that there was not one single path to the academic library, which I knew, but she gave me a great background on people that she knew personally who didn't come into the field with degrees that would necessarily back the type of library that they ended up in. She knows people in the science library field who had an English bachelor's degree, which I found fascinating, as that's what I have. And the thing that she imposed on me was the fact that AI is transforming the librarian profession. So she is planning on doing research on artificial intelligence after she is finished with her outreach and ensuring that she is connected to her community. Another area that she is interested in researching, as she told me, was accessibility in the academic library setting. That was one of her big passions when she was getting her MLIS degree. So a couple pieces of advice that I got from her were first, that I should find a mentor in the library program, somebody who is interested in what I am interested in, so that I can potentially make connections that can lead to a position after I'm out of school. She also recommended that I go back to volunteering if I have the time. That is the way that she entered Perry Library, and it's a method of entering the library that I'm very comfortable with, so I will really consider that. She also recommended that I go to conferences and even sent me a conference that was coming up, which I thought was very nice. Thank you very much for listening to my recap of my interview with the ODU Academic Sciences Librarian, Linh Nguyen. I hope you guys learned something.